Hey, what is up, you guys? I'm gonna do a little live stream guitar class here. And let me know in the chat if you're there. I have no idea. This is kind of just a little experiment, if anyone heard about it. But I thought we'd have fun and try it. And I want to go ahead. Uh-oh.
Hey, what is up, you guys?
Let's turn off.
I'm gonna do a little live stream guitar class here.
Uh-oh.
And
hey, Jeff's there. Cool. I think we're gonna turn off that. Okay. We'll just go with that. Yo, Jeff. Cool. Well, I have no idea who else is there, but we're gonna just we're gonna run through some bar chords here, and then I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything. So just feel free to. Jeff, awesome. Feel free to throw some questions in the chat. I thought I'd just give this a shot today. I want to thank Gary for helping me set it up. It was crazy. So let's try something. I'm going to go to some bar chord pictures. Boop. Oh, there's we got notes and bar chords. Okay, cool. Hope you can see that. Hey, what's up, Matt? Awesome. This is great. Can you guys see? Put a little yeah in the chat. Can you see the bar chords up there? Can you see that little picture? Yeah, Steve Purcell. Awesome. Can you see it? I've got my shills out there, man. Hopefully you can see it. I could probably, yes, excellent. Oh, Pat's out there. Cool. All right. So there they are. And I think if you're new at bar chords, then, oh, we got Phil. Awesome. All right, great. We got people here. This is cool. I didn't know if anyone would show up. So thanks for popping in. Let me go back to this. Okay. So if you're new at bar chords, then just like take the first one and just torture yourself with that for a while, maybe one or two, whatever. If you're like know a lot of bar chords, but maybe you just want to kind of fill in the blanks, that's cool too. And obviously I'm teaching people at different levels today, but we'll kind of roll with it. The first thing you got to figure out, hey, Rich is there. Wow. Got a crew, man. This is fun. All right. So, I'm going to pull up the notes again. So, oops, bar chords, notes. There we go. And you got the bar chords in the corner. You got me in there. Look at that. So if you look at the notes, and let's start with bar chords on the low E string. So there's your E. And you got your notes, and you can see the clockwise up direction of the arrow there. And, oh my God, David Rendelman's out there. I love it with his geek glasses. I love it. What's up, Dave? Yeah. So you got your notes, and let's say you're on your E string, and you're like, I want to do a major chord, and what the heck, I want to do a G major chord. So you look at your little circle of notes there. You find your E. It's kind of green down there. It's green. You go up 3 to G, right? E to F is 1, F to F sharp or G flat is 2, and then from F sharp or G flat to G, 3. So that's 3. That's like 3 frets. And so you find on your E string, you're like 1, 2, 3. There's a G note. Cool. And now you go to the little bar chord on the top left, and I'll go big here for you guys for a sec. Look at the top left one. It says major. And why don't I play my bass more? I will answer that question as soon as we're done with the bar chords. Thanks, Pat. That's awesome. That's a great question. So, and I will help you with it. I promise. All right. So here's the shape. I forgot to put a little picture of me in here, but that's okay. Let's go back to that. So there's a G bar chord. And let's see if I can go big. Boom, look at that. And so there's your G bar chord. And I'm basically just first finger on the E string, 3rd fret. Third finger, 5th fret of the A string, the 5th. Pinky right under it, 5th fret of the D. Middle finger on the G string on the 4th fret, and then first finger is getting all 6. Another way to think about that is like if you, which camera am I looking at? That one right there? Yeah. If you, and in fact, what if we did that? There, look at that, close up. If you make an E chord, so here's an E. Remember E? Good old-fashioned E chord. If you know E, And then you just refinger it so your first finger is free. So your pinky went where your third was, third where the second was, second where the first was. Still an E chord. And you scooch it up 1, 2, 3 frets, and you just bar. That's your G chord. Same thing. Okay. I kind of lost my angle there. There we go. All right. So there's a G chord. And let's go back to front. Okay. There's your G bar chord. And then once you have that, you could play that shape at any place. So again, there's an E with a funny fingering. Up a fret is F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Let's do a song. Let's say you're going to do Fire on the Mountain by the Grateful Dead. And so here's your B. It's just B to A, right? B to A. So here's a B, 7th fret. Here's an A, 5th fret. That's all. 7, 5. By the way, you could try the power chord. First finger and third finger. 7 and 9 on the 2 low strings. Go down 2 frets with a ton of distortion. That's like in a rock. And then just do the full bar chord. B, same shape, A. And you could be like B, A. And just go back and forth. It's freezing in here, by the way. It's like -11 out here in Madison. It's crazy. My hands are like falling off right now. And that's B and A. So B and A. Cool. So we learned our first shape. And by the way, like if you know an F bar chord, it's all the same. F, F sharp, G. Okay, you get the idea. Cool. Now let's make it into a minor. So all you got to do is pick up your middle finger. So here's B, pick up your middle finger, B minor. And a really common thing that happens is if you're new at this, you're like, why doesn't it sound different? Well, you're probably not hitting the G string. So get your first finger right up really close. Get it really close. And I like to kind of use this part of the finger. You can take your hand and go like this. And you're kind of pushing it back. It's like a little yoga thing. Like, use the side, push back, pick up your middle finger. Okay. We're not like way up here. We're, just over. Cool. So B major, B minor. And then if you want to do 7, pick up your pinky instead. So it's like the major shape. Pick up your pinky. That's 7. I didn't put this on the sheet, but that's all. So you can put your pinky 1 fret higher on the B string. But even that's a B7 right there. So let's go back to the bar chords. Boop. And there they are. And, or even let's give you the big shape. There. So we're looking at the first 3 chords on the top right now. Major, minor, dominant 7. And then, by the way, let's skip the major 7 a sec. There's a little fishy saying it's not really a bar chord, but he felt left out. We'll get to that last. But the minor 7 is pretty easy too. All you got to do is go back to your minor chord. So here's major, pick up the middle finger. Minor, pick up the pinky. Minor 7. And then that's a nice chord. So like think of like the Doors where you're going A minor 7. So it's just like sort of like a power chord. 5, 7, and then you just bar your first finger on all 6, right? So A minor 7, go down to the 2nd fret. F sharp minor 7, go back and forth. It would be untrue. Just kind of make that power chord shape and go 5 and 2, right? You know that I would be alive, right? So that would be a cool little one for you to try. Just A minor 7 and F sharp minor 7. Okay, cool. The only one we skipped, root on the E string, now is the major 7. It's not really a bar chord, but I'll show it to you anyway. It's kind of a jazz chord. Think about it this way. Actually, you know what? We'll come back to it because we're going to do a minor chord and then we'll come back to it. Don't let me forget. All right. So I'm going to do now minor root on the A string. So let's go back. This is fun. I got my new little boop. Okay. So root on the A string. Look at the guys on the bottom there. And we see the little red dot is on the A string on the bottom row. And if you do a major chord, you kind of, this time you're barring your 3rd finger. Fingerboard close-up, Gary says. Okay, there we go. So, all right, if you guys missed any of that, I'll just back up. So let's see if I can get this angle. There we go. A major. I'm at the 5th fret, so whatever. Am I? Yeah, 5th fret. See all that? Okay. So a major, a 7 without the pinky, a minor 7 with just these two, and if you have just minor with the pinky, cool. That's minor, minor 7, dominant 7, major. Okay, we did all that. Now root on the A string. And so here's the one we're going to do first. It's your major chord. And you're just like 5th fret of the A string. And then 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D, G, and B strings. And so the ring finger's doing all the barring. And it's basically like an A major chord, good old A. But you do it with one finger, rock and roll. And you do it this time with your 3rd finger, which you'd never really do, but in this case you do it. And then you slide it anywhere. So if you do, let's go back to your notes a sec. So there's your notes. And on the A string, find the A, it's at the top of the page. Let's say you wanted a C. Walk up 1, 2, 3 frets to the C. So you go to your 3rd fret, 3, ring finger on the 5th, and bam. It's a close up. There it is. So there is a C bar chord. C, C sharp, G, G sharp, E. Again, it's like that power chord. 5 and 7 or 3 and 5, whatever. And if you do, say you're doing Clapton cocaine, here's, I'll find an E. So that'll be at the 7th fret. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. There's the bar chord. You can be like E, E, D, E, D, right? It's just a little tune to do it. E, E, D, E, D. So we're just doing that shape. If you want to do minor, you make like the shape of an A minor chord. Refinger it so your 1st finger is free. So again, pinky where the 3rd was, 3rd where the 2nd was, 2nd where the 1st was. And then let's say you want to B minor. Just scooch it up 2 frets, put your 1st finger on the 5 high strings. B minor, bam. Why don't you play the low E string? It's a great question. You could put the, that's the 5th of the chord. You could be like, you could do something like that. And it is the 5th. And sometimes guys will play it, but typically you want the root of the chord, which in this case is a B, for a B minor chord, in the bottom. So typically that's what you're going to do. Typically your 1st finger will just kill the low E. It's right underneath it, and you don't hear it. Okay. So, let's see if I can get in there. Yeah, so, and by the way, this B minor at the 2nd fret looks like this F sharp major if I just come up 1 string. So B minor, F sharp major, B minor, same shape. And then back to like B7, I'm at the 2nd fret, and it's kind of like a little A7 chord. Let's see if I can get in there. Foop. There's an A7. And I'm going to refinger it again, weird. 3rd and pinky, you won't really do that usually. Scooch up 1, 2 frets for B, and there it is, B7. If I want B major 7, just add the middle finger on the G string. In this case, like one fret higher than the 1st finger. And again, very nice, right? That's B major 7. And if I want B minor 7, go back to the minor shape. B minor, and then just pick up the pinky. And that's B minor 7. I didn't write this, but you could also put it at 1 fret higher at the high E string. That's also B minor 7. Either way. So that's B minor 7. By the way, let's go back to B minor a sec. I'm kind of cruising through these, but we'll go back. If you take this B minor shape, you put your root on the E string, 3rd fret, that's G major 7. That's the chord that we skipped on the low E string. So it's like your jazz chord. So B minor bar chord, G major 7. And let me go back. So if you look at we just did all the ones on the bottom, and maybe I'll put myself in there. It might be tough, but basically, let's see if I can do it really quick. How about we get this guy. And we'll copy him. And we'll put him into the bar chords if we can. Holy cow. Look at that. And we'll shrink him. Awesome. Okay. And so we're kind of looking at the bottom now. Foop. So we don't worry about that. Okay. So the B chord is like that, or a C chord, or D, whatever. I'm at D now. Here's D minor. Here's D minor 7. I'm skipping to the last one without the pinky. So minor, minor 7. Here's D7. And here's D major 7. All right. And then the one chord that we skipped was the major 7 for the root on the E string. You're just playing 4 notes. Say you wanted A major 7, you find an A. And then you just go ahead and you skip a string, skip the A string, go 1 fret higher on the D string, same on the G, go on the same as the first finger on the B string, skip the high E string, and that's that jazzy sound. So that's A major 7. Is the root always on the low string? Hey, Brian, thanks, man. Is the root always on the low string? So it's either going to be on the low E string or the low A string. So, like, let me get me out of here for a sec. Oops, wrong one. Boom, there we go. So notice the top row here, you're looking at root on the low E string. On the bottom row, the root's on the A string. And you can kind of see it there. So it's a good question. Cool. And then just for fun, let's just do a couple little songs that kind of mix it up. So just like some classic stuff. So say you're doing Hendrix and or Dylan, whatever. You want to do All Along the Watchtower. Here's C sharp minor. So again, it's like an A minor shaped barred, and at the 4th fret of the A string, C sharp minor. Go down 2 frets, make it major for a B chord. And I'm just playing the 4 middle strings. My first finger is killing the low E. My third finger is killing the high E. And then we could just do a 1 finger A, rock and roll, or you could do your A up here just to challenge yourself a little bit. And that's just your good old bar chord, all 6 strings. Looks like an E chord, barred at the 5th fret. So you're like C sharp minor, B, A, B, C sharp minor, B. I'll do the open A. C sharp minor, B, A. You get the idea. So you could do that. Or and I would take any song that you already know and be like, wait, how could I do it in the bar chords? So like there was one let's say you're doing like G, to D, D major, sorry, E minor to C, G, D, let's just do that, G, D, E minor, C. It's kind of a real common progression. And you'd be like, all right, I got to find a G chord. And you got 2 choices. You could do your G here, root on the low E string and make the shape of a major chord. Or you could go all the way up here and do this shape, root on the A string. You got 2 choices. D, you're barring on the 12th fret, and you got the 5th fret, 5th string, A string, first finger. So that's G also. And then you could just, let's say you did the low one though. G, you could do your D here. 5th fret with that 2 finger shape. You're killing the low, killing the high. My 3rd finger, by the way, is just killing the high string. So you can be very aggressive when you do that shape. Doesn't matter. Here's E minor. And that's like an A minor barred at the 7th fret right there. Again, I'm killing the low E string. Take that same shape, go up a string, go up a fret, and that's C. Or do your C down here, 3rd fret with the 2 finger guy. Same difference. It's interchangeable. So G, C, G, C. You want to work on that. So G, D, E minor. How about your C? And just have fun with that stuff. You're like G, switch to D, switch to E minor, C. That time I did like a little minor 7 just to shake it up. G, D, D suspended, Hammer, E minor, C, I did it up here, and so on, G. So have fun with these chords. Some of you guys might be like, oh my god, I've never done bar chords before. I would just stick with like, you know, major, minor, whatever. Here, let's do one more. And by the way, if you're old hat with these bar chords and you've done tons, maybe there's just like one or two shapes that are new. Have fun with those. Let's do what's that? Tom Petty, Breakdown. That's the song I'm thinking of. So I'm just gonna go A minor, so 5th fret for an A, because E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. I'm gonna make a minor shape with my 3rd and pinky. It's like an E minor, right? Barred at the 5th fret, so they're at the 7th. First finger's at the 5th. A minor, then come down 2 frets to a G major chord. So you got your middle finger back. So A minor, pick up the middle finger, G, put it back. And you could be like, A minor, G, A minor, G, just go back and forth. No middle finger, add the middle finger. And you're like, it's alright if you love me, A minor, G, and so on. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And when he finally gets to the last part, he's like, and A minor, G, and A minor, G, down to F. F. Hold that F. It's just like the G at the 1st fret. Start over. A minor, G. You get the idea. All right. Guys, do you have any questions about the bar chords? Any other questions? If you want, put those in first. If anyone has any questions, I know I kind of cruised through it. And otherwise, let's try some Ask Me Anything if anyone has any questions. I'll give it a sec here. I know I live like 10 seconds in the future here. And I appreciate you guys joining. Are all blues tunes 12 bars? Holy cow. No! That's a good question. So, wow. So, let's see. And Pat wants to know why he doesn't play his bass. Okay, I'll answer the bass question next. So, guys, there's this thing called a 12-bar blues. And cool chord progressions. Okay, great. Love it. These are great. So, there are there's an 8-bar blues. Like, do you know the tune, Key to the Highway? I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3. I got the E to the B, that's 2. And A. And another A, that's 4 now. Back to E. And B, that's 6, and E, and switch to A, and switch to E, and B. So those 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. So short answer, no, there's other forms of blues, and also, if you watch some of these old blues players, like I heard, what's his name? I think it was Chuck Berry, would tour, and he would get like he would get guys like session musicians to just join him from the musicians union on the road. And he'd be like, guys, watch me. Everything's not always 12-bar blues. I might go 11 or I might go 13. You better keep an eye on me. Like, so there's that too. But most your blues tunes are 12 bars. But yeah, there's exceptions. All right, cool. Let's see here. Ooh, would you ever play bar chords with a D string in the root? Yeah, that's a great question, Steve. So yeah, you can do that. It's true. So like, for instance, and we didn't get that far, but so you want to do a major 7. This is actually kind of easy. Let's say it's F. So on the D string, we'll go D, D sharp, E, F. There's an F. And if you do this, lay down on the 3 high strings, that's F major 7. So that's cool if you do like that, like a little D7 chord, cowboy chord. You just refinger it again, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. First finger's free, go up. Let's say 3 frets in this case. There's an F again. That's F7 or F sharp 7 or G7. So yeah, you can do root on the D string chords also. It's a great question. Maybe I should do closer like that. Yeah. So There's F7, F sharp 7, G7 at the 5th fret. It's a little bit of a tough shape, but you could do that. It's basically just your good old-fashioned D chord, barred at the 5th fret. So that would be for major. If you take like a minor shape, like a D minor, think of a D minor, scooch it up, and play it like at the 5th fret. How about is G minor, or G flat minor, or F minor? You can do that. So yeah, you can do all these different chords as root on the D string. It's a great question. Why do they call it a dominant chord? Isn't the dominant the 5th? That's great. So yeah, so it's two different things. So thanks, Jeff. These are great questions, actually. So in this case, we're talking about the dominant 7 versus a major 7 versus a minor 7. So it's kind of, whereas I think what you're talking about is in a Roman numeral chord progression, and this kind of gets to Brian's question about cool chord progressions. So I don't know if this is going to be cool chord progression. It's going to be more standard. Ooh, okay, we got a question about ESP and LTD guitars. I love this. You guys are gonna. This is the fun part for me. But here I got to stay on track. So, can you give my son advice about buying a 10-year-old guitar? Oh, a 10-year-old, yeah, a guitar for a 10-year-old. Yes, we'll do that too. Okay, we got lots to do. So, basically, okay, let's get back to Jeff's question. Sorry, I'm getting a little ADD with the chat. I love it though. Keep them coming. So, the dominant chord, when you're talking about like tonic, subdominant, dominant, I'm like flashing back to music theory class. Oh my God. Now you're talking about Roman numeral chord progressions. Like the one, let's say we're in C. The 1 is the tonic, and the 4 is the, if I remember right, the subdominant, and the 5 is the dominant, and it could be a dominant 7 actually. But what we're talking about now is types of 7th chords. So let's, if you're not used to this theory stuff, just get the gestalt of it. You don't have to remember this, or if you kind of are on the cusp of this, maybe you do want to memorize it. But a major 7 chord, you take a major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and you go 1, 3, 5, 7, do, mi, so, ti. That's a major 7 chord. And then a minor 7 chord would be 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7, and that's going to give you minor 7. A dominant 7 chord is 1, 3, 5 flat 7. So it's like a major chord plus the flat 7, and that's just called dominant 7. So don't confuse the two is what I'm getting at. There's a little bit of a relation because the dominant chord, the 5 chord, often is a dominant 7, but it doesn't have to be. But when you say dominant 7, that's like when someone says A7 or D7 or E7 or G7 or F sharp 7, that's all short for F sharp dominant 7, G dominant 7. If they just say F7, they mean it's got a flat 7, okay? Or E7, it's got a flat 7. Okay, hope I answered that. Are you an alien here to teach us music from the stars? Yes! How did you know? That is amazing. Wow, my secrets have been revealed. That is cool. Okay, wait. Pat, how come you're not playing your bass? So, I don't want to skip that question. What I would do, and this is for everybody, for guitar players, whatever, leave them out. Try not to trip on your instruments, but if you can hang them on the wall, you can kind of see this. I'm in the control room right now. You can kind of see my ukuleles hung on the wall, or like I've got a little multi-stand with a bunch of guitars over there. Anywhere where you can just grab it and go, or leave it on the couch, or whatever's, just put it somewhere where it won't get destroyed. But leave your instruments out where it's really easy. If it's a bass and it needs to be plugged in, it's already plugged in. Your amps all you got to do is hit on the amp and grab your bass and go. It's already plugged in. Like, make it stupid easy for yourself. That is my best advice. If I also think, like, jam with your buddies any chance you can. Take lessons. Anything where you can set yourself up to just almost have to do it. You're like, oh, my friends are coming over to jam. Okay. And then even if you can get yourself into like 2-minute-a-day practice routines, you're like, I'm going to brush my teeth and practice my bass before I go to bed for 2 minutes. And if you happen to like have a lot of fun and like 7 minutes later you're still jamming, that's great. So I would just kind of make it really easy, make it fun, set really low, uh, like expectations in terms of practicing, but try to make it consistent. So like 2 minutes a day, and do it when you're gonna do it. If you find that you're just too tired at night, you just pass out. Do it first thing in the morning, or whatever's clever. Find good times for you. If you got a half hour or an hour where it's really fun to do it, do it. If you can talk to your friends a little while you're jamming, you're talking to that, really boring person on the phone. You're like, no way, really? And you're just jamming. I'll call you. You can just play while I talk, whatever. So have fun with that. I hope that helps. Okay, let me see. Advice about playing guitar while you brush your teeth. Yes, definitely. Okay, I was actually looking at kids' guitars. Let me see if I can go to this. So let's see if I can. Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's see here. I'm going to try to pull up the web. Oh, no. That wasn't it. Okay. And bear with me, guys. I'm learning my system. There we go. Okay. And then let's see, web. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get the sound in there. Thanks, Gary. That's awesome. I know why. Let's get the audio. Okay, I'm going to copy that. And we're going to go back. One of my 7 Hold on. Screen. Okay, there. Now you should be able to hear me. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, cool. So, like, these Rogues tend to be kind of lower end. The kids Squires, I'm not in love with them. They're not bad. You could probably you can wrestle it to work. I had a little bit. Wow, there's a lot. I do like the idea of a pack because I think you'll tend to save money, or just get a used amp. Get a used amp. GuitarCenter.com has them really cheap, or find one at a Craigslist thing or whatever. Let's see. A lot of these are not kids. Hold on. Let's try this again. Let's try like short scale. So let's see. One of my 7 cats bites the strings when I play. Is there a cat guitar you can invent? Yeah, just let the cats. Yeah, David uses it as a scratch board. I love that. I'm gonna say short scale. I love that. Dave will answer your question, Brian. He has cat guitar issues also. There we go. These Mitchells I'm really interested in. Look at that. They're on sale. I haven't tried them yet, so I can't tell you how good they are, but I was going to maybe pick one up just to see. They got a couple right there, so you could at least see maybe the price is right. I don't know if they're any good. I like reading the reviews sometimes. You get an idea. What else? Let's see. Oh, yeah, these. So Ibanez makes these micro short scale basses that I love. I have one. And a few of my students have had the short scale guitars. Let's try. I might have to type micro in there. Hold on a sec. Micro, M-I-K-R-O. These are decent. I think these are. There we go. Ibanez Micro, like this guy. And look, they have a Paul Gilbert model. Wow, look at that. This one I've definitely I had one. My students have had them. It comes in black and white. There's a black one. For $150, they're all right. They stay in tune a little better. There's also, so yeah, M-I-K-R-O. Check those out. It's true. It's not a toy, but it's not a great guitar, but they're not, for a kid's guitar, they're pretty decent. This one has like the 2 double humbucker pickups, so it's kind of a rock guitar. There's another one, and I'm spacing out now. Charvel, I think they make a kid's guitar that I was really impressed with at the store. I haven't owned one. Oh, it's not coming up. Anyway, look for the Charvel ones. Maybe I'm spelling that wrong. Charvel has, they might have another brand name too. Is that, oh, there we go. Charvel, I'm spelling it wrong. Let's try it one more time. Hope this helps. Kids guitar. Okay, there we go. Nope, I'm not having luck. All right, that's all right. But check those out too. They have some, they're kind of like rock and roll guitars. And then you asked to, if kids can get a guitar, I would like to see if, yeah, that's a great point. Whatever, oh, try travel guitars. That's an interesting idea. Whichever one you get, plan on giving it a setup. Plan on, you know, if either you do it yourself or you go to the guitar store and you spend $50. You could ask Guitar Center, you could say, hey, like, you guys have an in-house tech. If I order this guitar through you instead of the website, this is a great trick. Would you guys be willing to give it a setup, lower the action, set the intonation, or even, you know, halfway do it if I bought it from you? And they might say yes, and that will save you the $50. That would be a great little tip for you, Matt. Let's see. Also, what do you know about ESP LTD guitars? I don't know a lot. It's been a long time since I've ever had one in my hands, like probably decades. But they are good guitars. I mean, let's see. And I think that they've got, we were talking about this, they've got kind of different levels. So yeah, here you've got, oh, it looks like the LTDs, these must be made in Asia somewhere, just based on the prices here, you know, $300, $400, $200. And then I think they have some, I think ESP has some really high-end American ones, maybe that, you know, I would guess. Once you started getting into thousands of dollars. A lot of these guitar brands are like that. Look at that White Zombie one. That's cool. Oh, this is the one you should get right here, Matt. I think you need that with the pointy one. So my friend Kenny used to say guitars like that, you could get VD from them, so be careful. Sorry, it's probably not appropriate. Let me see. Okay, how am I doing here? Try travel guitars. Yeah, I like that idea. Cool. Here, let's get back out. That was fun, guys. Did I miss any of your... Oh, cool chord progressions. Oh, okay. So, I got a crazy idea for you. I don't know... Oh, here. Do something. This is going to be weird. This is a cheap capo right here. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. There we go. That is a cheap Kaiser capo. You've seen those. So, this is for you, Brian. You can get capos that do this naturally. They're called Shub makes a 3-string capo. But I'm going to put this one on backwards on purpose. Look at this. This is just a weird idea for you. So this is not how you're supposed to use this capo. But what it's doing is the E string is open. And then the high 2 strings, the E and the B, are open. And then you got the A, D, and G strings are, let's use our tuner, are capoed at the 2nd fret. So basically you're making a E suspended chord. And I'm going to make sure it's in tune. Now this Kaiser, it's not really what it's for, but it'll work. So I just put it on backwards. You could also, like I said, get a 3-string capo. And then you can do all sorts of little... Isn't that pretty? And it's a really inspiring way to write. You know? So I would expect, I would suggest, try some different partial capoings like that. And try some different, see what you come up with. Another thing I would do is check out jazz. So like, you could go to any jazz progression, like just for fun. Let's just Google like sheet music, real book. What's a good one? How about oh God, I don't know. Mingus, Charles Mingus. Did I spell that wrong? Yeah, I can't type to save my life. Boom, boom. Okay, let's see what comes. Oh, it worked anyway. Okay, good. So, and then you're like, look at that. And then you look at, oh, there's a progression. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you my screen. Let me try that. There. So I just Googled just for a random tune, and you're like, whoa, C6. Oh, I'm out of tune again. A minor 7. The dashes mean minor, by the way, if you're not used to reading these jazz charts. There we go. So, you're like C6, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7. I don't know if that's cool. It's more like, but it's interesting, and then it changes, like C6, G7 with a D bass, D sharp diminished 7, E minor 7, and whatever. So go to jazz, because people have already been doing these crazy progressions. By the way, what is a 13th chord? Okay. So here we go. There, that's the 13th chord. So, but what is it, right? There. So a dominant 7 chord we were talking before was 1, 3, 5, flat 7, do, mi, so, te, right? If you add to that a 9, you'll get a 9th chord. So let's do C, because that's the easier key. So C there's no sharps or flats in C. So the major chord C, E, G, 1, 3, 5 is C. That's do, mi, so, and you can have any order, any amount, whatever. Add the flat 7 to that, you got a C7 chord. And that's 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And in jazz, you can leave out the 5th. It's like, whatever, it's kind of implied. It's cool, you can leave it out. So even if you don't have the 5th, it's cool. But 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Add the 9 to that. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 2, or 9. 9 and 2 are the same thing. C, E, G, B flat, D. Cool, we got a C9. And now add the 13, and this 13 is the same as the 6. Because if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is where you start over, and then 6 more. And that's, in this case, an A, right? C, D, E, F, G, A. So there's a C13 chord for you. And I'm going for C, I'm going 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, bar on the 3rd fret of the high 3 strings for C9, and then add your pinky right there. And another cool fingering you could do. Oh, sorry, that's not C, that was E. Here's C13. So 8th fret, 9th fret, and then 10th fret on the 2 high strings. And I'm skipping the 8th string, C13. Okay, cool. Phil? What's up, Phil? Oh, I gotta get back to you for a time. I will. What is the simplest recording gear so I can lay down several tracks? That seems to be the best way to practice both rhythms and leads, and perhaps even get a simple bass. And why the heck is it spelled bass and not bass? As far as the spelling thing, I think it's like a covert conspiracy. And Brian will explain more about that. But let me see. So the simplest recording gear, I would get, here, I'm going to screen share for a second. By the way, I love your idea for like, if you're doing online lessons, I love, like Jeff does this, who was typing in the chat earlier. He does a lot of like recording projects with me, and I love it when people do that. It's just such a great way to teach online, and you've got your own little recording studio at home. And like you said, you lay down your rhythm guitar, maybe to a beat, you lay down some bass maybe if you want, do some leads or whatever. It's just a super fun way to learn. So I totally am with you. I just recently, let's go back to Guitar Center. I recently said, there we go, Guitar Center. And, let me switch you over to that. Front cam, where is it? Web. There it is. Okay, cool. So there's a Focusrite Solo. And I actually just helped one of my students install this on his PC, and I know nothing about PCs, and it worked fine. It was really, they like really got it together. They made it real easy. And it comes with Ableton Live Lite. Now, if you're a Mac guy, you've got GarageBand already, and that's a really simple program. And I like it, and I can teach with that. Ableton Live Lite comes with this, and let's just double check. Yeah, right there, Ableton Live Lite. So, it comes with Pro Tools also, something, and it comes with some effects. I use the heck out of Ableton Live, and the Lite is great. So I really like these Focusrites. Ooh, Jeff says the Motu M2 is great and cheap. Let's check it out real quick. So there's a lot of options. Anyway, I know this is a good one. Oops. And I know Motu makes good stuff. Motu M2, let's check it out. I don't know this one. Look at that. So it's a little pricier. But it also uses a USB-C, whereas the one I just showed you, I think it's just USB 2, which is the old school. So this probably is a little nicer if you want to spend. And it also comes with Ableton Live Lite. Look at that. I really like that software. That's what I use on stage when I'm looping. So let's see. So this is probably a little better unit actually, but I don't think you're gonna go wrong either way. So for 180 bucks, the Motu M2. For 120 bucks, the Scarlett. Okay. I want a copy of your whole studio if that's possible. Sure. No problem. Yeah, cool. You guys, this has been great. Thank you so much. I didn't know what to expect, but here, let's get out of here. Isn't this fun? We can do, ooh, there's the back camera, front, pretty fun. I figured out how to like assign this drum machine thing, drum pads to all these cameras. Let's see. Oh, check this out, guys. Woo! Fun, right? I really appreciate you guys hanging out, hanging in. Woo! We did a flip. Ah! That is crazy. Aw, that's snowflakes. Yeah, oops. I appreciate you guys hanging out and doing this. This is really fun. And I hope it was helpful. And love your feedback. And I know a lot of you guys I'm in touch with anyway, so you can let me know. And here, we'll do this one on the way out. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. There we go. Windmill with the octopus. Thanks so much. Thank you, Matt. I hope this is helpful. There'll be a replay. There'll be a replay of this on like YouTube or whatever. It should be up there instantly, basically, and Twitch and Facebook. It should just stay up. So if you are like, I kind of got that, but I lost the barcodes, just, go check it out. And thanks, Gary. Oh, and Gary, thank you for all the help. Cool, man. You guys have fun, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks, Steve. Later. Yeah, thanks, Phil. Go Chiefs.